My name is David Belmer. I'm the sales manager here in Colorado Springs for Aspen View Homes. I've worked here about 3 years. I think I started around Christmas time, 2019. Well, that was an interesting time to be around. Come to Colorado and experience COVID firsthand, you know. I remember a sales rep calling me and saying, hey, we're out of toilet paper and there's none in the stores. And of course, I didn't believe her. And of course, I was proven wrong like 2 weeks later when I'm standing in line trying to buy toilet paper, right? And then I'm walking out of the store with, they give you just a little bit at a time. So I'm carrying toilet paper out of the store, like 6 rolls. And people were like, way to go, you got toilet paper, you know? So I'm thinking, man, this is a sad state of affairs that we're celebrating toilet paper, you know? I love the fact that every day is something different. It is amazing. You would think that there would be like patterns to my day, you know, the sales manager does this, but there's really not. There'll be a day when, I come in and I'll do a training for like customer service, something like that. And that makes sense, right? You have a sales manager training sales type items, right? The next day I may be shooting a video, you know, like this one. I mean, how do you plan for that, right? And then another day I may do something like go to a buyer's walk. And a buyer's walk is like the orientation where we explain the home to him and the functionality of the home, which is really cool because you get the front row seat of watching a buyer experience like that moment when they are like, this is my home. And this is where our kids are going to grow up. And honestly, it's a beautiful thing to watch that. And then there's times when, you know, I have to be the bad guy and I'll be coordinating with our construction counterparts and we'll say, we're not sure that we're going to be able to close on time. And what do we do about that? Currently, we're in a state of affairs where we have a labor shortage and we have supply shortages and some of these things don't work out. And we're the guys that have to make the phone call and says, we're probably not going to close on time. And those are tough days. And they're tough days for the buyers too, you know. But I still love my job. Why is Aspen View better than any other builder? It's kind of interesting. When I first got here, I started asking around like, hey, so where did you work and where did you work? And there seemed to be a common theme, and that was we all worked for some of the other builders, right? Let's call them the big builders. I won't say who they are because that's not what this is about. Even if it took 100 years, I'm not gonna say who the other builders were, but there's about 5 of them that we all migrated from. We all left for a reason. And the same reason is why we do a lot of things. Like no one's listening to us and nobody's asking us our opinion. You know, it's like, here's a classic example. Like when you go to the doctor, you tell them, here, my arm hurts, this is what's going on. And they're like, yeah. They're not really listening to you. So you get a feeling like there's no advantage of going to one place or another. I actually went to one of their sales models. And sure enough, I walked in and the guy never stood up. He actually said, hey, the model's that way. Let me know if you have any questions. You know, and I thought, wow, this is what buyers are experiencing right now. Nobody's listening to them. You know, so it's almost like all these big builders, all they care about is the stockholders and making all those people rich, man. Here at Aspen View Homes, we actually do something called a thoughtful series, which is really cool. And that's where we take and we look at how do you use the home personally and what items can we add to the home to make your life even better. You know, here's a list of items, but it's not limited to this. Wow, I sounded like an attorney there, didn't I? But here's a list. We know that buyers they have more pets at home now. So let's pay attention to like pet doors and pet offices. We are now carrying around more electronics than we ever have. So why don't we pay attention to the charging stations? Let's make it more convenient so we don't have all these wires hanging all over the place. Let's have pop-up stations that come up. But that's thoughtful. That's pretty cool. Or how about the garage? We have an entire giant room out there that's dedicated to what? 2 cars. So why don't we have it to where when the cars are not there, we can use it for multiple functions, like a workout room. And when we're done working out, let's fold that up. What about a hobby room? You know, let's have a workbench. And then when we're done with that, let's fold it up. You guys see a theme coming here, right? And then when we have friends over, let's have a bar. And then when we're done with that, let's fold it up and then bring our cars back in. So it's a way to, you know, let's just be thoughtful how we're using our home. It's a pretty cool system. Why would anybody want to buy an Aspen View home over at another builder? All of us are dedicated to a common goal at Aspen View Homes, and that is simply customer service experience. But there are times when we have to deliver bad news, like we talked about. And so those are the hard times. But we do know that this is one of the most important decisions of a buyer's life. We want to make sure that it's a positive one, and it's a great experience, and it's something that they remember forever. So our dedication and our commitment to the buyer is we're going to be there for you every step of the way.
Why the Hawaiian shirt?
Today is actually a Hawaiian Friday, so we're having fun today. Yeah.